As you can gauge by the permanent smile on my face, I love this episode. I just watched it Saturday, Sunday, and just right now before I started recording this, and oh my, this is an awesome episode. Yeah, I can't get this smile off my face. And it's not like there's not problems with this episode. I mean, there are a lot of problems, but they don't matter. Really, in the grand scheme of the episode overall, the problems that are here are minimal. They're negligible. They mainly come around to the story, maybe the pacing a little bit, but I'll discuss why I don't really think that. And there's one line I don't like in a song, but I'll get to that. Where do I start with this? Because, you know, it's hard to gauge an episode like this because this episode is all about, you know, Magical Mystery Cure is not one that's based around the story. It's based around the characters. It's a visceral experience. Basically, this episode is a muscle. You're just supposed to react. It's a force. That's all it is. The story. Twilight accidentally switches around all the cutie marks of the main six, except for herself, of course. And so actually about 2/3 of the episode is her fixing that whole situation up. The last third is Twilight becoming an alicorn. If you haven't heard this yet, welcome to the internet. I'll talk about that part and then this part, or the first part and then the second part, because they are important. You know, there was a lot of hype going into this episode, people saying, oh no, this is going to ruin the show, and it didn't. Not really. Actually, not at all. Alright, so what do I talk about first? Well, the first thing I noticed was the animation, and boy, does it give a reason why it was a year and a half between Season 2 and Season 3. At least I think so. It seemed that long, and you can tell because there is so much good animation here. I mean, this is Flash we're talking about. I mean, this is a movie, and I can totally understand. I totally get now why there's going to be a DVD for this episode alone. You know, that makes sense now. You know, they were talking about making a DVD for it. It makes sense. You know, and that's the importance of it. This is a movie. It's actually it's a musical more than anything else. It's a musical plus a clip show. And normally when you hear something like that, you go, but it's handled beautifully here, and it's, you know, it's not perfect in the literal sense, but it's perfect in the abstract sense. It gets everything it needs to do right. So the animation is great. The story has a few problems with it. I think it is a little rushed, but I think that if the story is rushed, the thing that really makes it work is the music, because the music is so inherently tied into the story involved, and it's very, very important. Because this is a musical, so all the important stuff gets put out in song. And if I had a problem with this season overall, because I thought this season was rather, you know, lackluster. It had good episodes, don't get me wrong. It had really good episodes. But one of the things that really got me tied to the show was the music. You know, Daniel Ingram's music. And there wasn't all that much here in this season. Not this episode. Because now I figured out why there wasn't that many songs in the season prior to this episode. You know, we had Ballad of the Crystal Empire and Babseed. And that was about it. But then we get seven new songs by Daniel Ingram, and all of them are spectacular. Although there is one part that rubs me the wrong way. One lyric, and it's only one lyric, and it's in A True True Friend. I'll talk about A True True Friend because that is, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful sequences ever. The lyric is Applejack's line. I'll just show it here. You know, hopefully Hasbro won't be too much of a jerk, and just let me show this little scene because it's a lyric and it's kind of weak overall.
And if you feel like helping, we'd appreciate a lot. If you get up there and spread some cheer from here to Canterlot.
You rhymed lot with lot. Anyway, the thing I really liked about A True True Friend is that it fixed a problem that I thought the Return of Harmony made a mistake on, and that is the memory spell. In Return of Harmony, when Twilight gets all the guys, or all the main six back together and whatnot, she uses a memory spell. And on the first one, Applejack, it goes through all of her mind and puts back memories and whatnot. And so we actually see what's going on in her head. And then we don't see it for any of the others. And I think that's a really bad thing, because then we don't actually get to see the development that's going into this change of character. They fixed that here. During the song, for every character, and even a little bit before the song, when the characters get back to the way they're supposed to, something like their eyes expand, and we see images roll fast in the eyes. And it's awesome. That is how it should work, and they did it for every character, and they made it fit into the song. And every song is awesome. You know, I was afraid that Season 3 wasn't going to have a lot to offer the creative bronies while we wait for Season 4 to come out. And Season 4 is coming, 26 episodes, yes. But, you know, I wanted to see some more what the creative bronies would have to offer. And this episode is going to give them a lot to work with. A lot to work with. You know, Morning in Ponyville is really awesome. You know, it's a good opener, it's a good intro. The Cutie Mark song, What My Cutie Mark Is Telling Me, is a really, really fun song. All the songs are really, really fun. I mean, there's the sad song, which sounds like something that actually a brony would have made. You know, and it's really, really cool. But then there's A True True Friend, which is basically Season 3's Smile song. In fact, if I don't see a compilation album like like the Smile song was, where we get different brony singers to sing A True True Friend, I will hurt someone. Love and tolerate. Then there's the there's the Celestia ballad, which I think is one of the most beautiful scenes in any show ever. The whole episode is beautiful. This is the kind of stuff that they should show in college lectures on how to do a TV show right. This is what they need to show. Particularly basically the ethereal scene. I'll call it the scene where Twilight's in the ethereal plane. That is one of the most beautiful scenes ever, and it's a clip show. That's the thing. This is a clip show, but this is a clip show done right, where we don't have to be told about certain things, because we see them and we remember those. So, you know, that's awesome. The song is great. The other two songs are maybe a little weaker, if only because it's hard to compete with A True True Friend and Celestia's Ballad. I'm actually going to go and listen to Celestia's Ballad again, because that is how you do animation. You know, nowadays we have things like SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents and The Simpsons. Well, fuck that. We have this now. This is what television should aspire to be. The only problem I have with the story overall, really, outside of, you know, the rushing I can excuse, because the music actually keeps everything paced along fairly well. As far as, you know, a flaw with the story, they don't really give a good reason why Twilight needs to be an alicorn. You know, I'm going to say that right now. They say why she could be a princess, makes sense. But they don't give an explanation as to why she needs to be an alicorn. You know, and if they had, I think that would have been a little bit, you know, stronger, a little bit better. You know, I don't have a problem that she wasn't. You know, I didn't go into this episode going, oh no, this is gonna be bad. You know, I trust Hasbro, at least in this much. I mean, they created a show that upended people's, preconceptions about it. So I'm not going to make any preconceptions about whether this episode would have been good or bad. I wanted to wait until I saw it. And for what I saw, whoa. I mean, I'm just thinking about it still, and it's just such a good episode. You know, you need to watch this. Even if you aren't a brony per se, this is something worth taking an interest in. And if I can have the opportunity to talk with other bronies on the Optimistic Realist later this week, this is going to be so much fun and so easy to talk about, because I have so much I want to say about it. And, you know, God, this is awesome. You know, I can't wait for Season 4. But you know what? I'm going to have to wait for Season 4. And I'll have new shows I can review. Maybe I'll review some old episodes of MLP. You know, maybe not, well, not review, but give my perspective on them. Kind of like what I did for The Legend of Korra. But I really want to try that, and I think it's going to be fun. You know, maybe I'll look at more creative brony stuff. I'm really excited for what the community, the fandom, the stuff that... The fandom is what really got me to be a brony. You know, the show was good, the characters and the quality was really good, the music was awesome, but it was what the fans made and how the fans reacted. That's what drew me in and finally made me a brony. So, you know, I'm really excited to say that this episode gets 2 thumbs way up. You know, check out this episode. You know, if you're not a fan, you might not like it, but at least listen to the music. The music is worth the price of admission, which technically is free because it's television. So, you know, I'll see you guys next time. I don't know when my next vlog will be, actually, because I've finally caught up. You know, I'll probably work on a few more vlogs. I might, you know, if I find any show I want to talk about, I'll talk about it, you know. So, see you guys next time.